field ready. They're gonna ride on the ambulance over there some, and over here for a couple shifts, just to get them used to the, lay of the land, if you will. Also hired a part-time EMT for the summer. She's a college gal from over in Ingram, Kristen Lawton, and she's helping fill shifts here at Ladysmith for the 2 individuals we have out that are injured. So that's worked out pretty timely for us. Let's see, I don't think we have any issues with any of the trucks to date that I know of. 250 to Bruce Rig, still scheduled to be delivered to Monticello, Minnesota on 6/24. It will then get lettered, come over here, get the brush guard put on, the radio put in and stuff. We should have it in the field by 10th to 15th of July. So that truck is coming on schedule. And we finally got notice of our, what was that? Oh, the windshield. Let me just flash me with a flashlight, the windshield of that table, just hit me with that sunshine. Not used to that sunshine, I think, globe. Our 2023 FAP, which is our funding assistance program for the ambulance, and ARPA, which was the extra ARPA money, finally got approved and then for payment, and that's about $19,000 that we've been waiting for since actually August of 22 is when I submitted the paperwork the first time. Did it again in February, and they said it wasn't adequate. I did it again February was the last time. They sent me a notice when I was laying in the hospital with my broken leg that it wasn't adequate and I had to give them more paperwork. And I said, well then, tell me what you need because I don't have a clue what you're talking about. And they never responded, and then last week before, 10 days ago, I got a notice, yeah, your grant has been accepted and payment's on its way. I'm like, you guys are just, it's bad. So, but that's good, we got that 19,000. So, and that's already spent. That bought a Lucas device for just a chest compressor for the Hawkins rig, and the fat part of it paid for an EMT that is in the class right now. So, and 2 from last year, 3 from last year. So that helped us pay for some of that. Still trying to get that non-escalation, de-escalation training here for our staff. And I took a Cameo training, which Cameo is a hazmat software. You can do plumes, you can do all kinds of stuff. It's a kind of a three different, Aloha, Marplot, and Cameo all work together. We have to use Cameo now for our on-site, off-site plans for the facilities, which I'll be drawing up a new one for the paper mill because they have chemicals now that they have to plan for. So an extremely hazardous chemical, and they're using it for either cleaning or something. It's sulfuric acid, but they're using it for something different than what you normally use it for. So, and I think somebody else is using it that way too, but not that much. I think Jolden was, but now they're shut down, so they don't have it anymore for that. So I took that training. That'll be an ongoing thing because it updates itself all the time, and it's a little over my head, but we're working on it. Let's see. So that's kind of my report. I lost the agenda. Training request, that's it for now. Let's see, what month is this? June? Yeah. My conference won't be till September, so I'll be back in August for that. You wanna do the payment of the bills, Gary?
Sure, if you look at that, you can see he wrote the budget on this one.
Yeah, I read it.
So this is for the new ambulance that's coming in.
That 187,000, yeah, and I already paid 80,000 on that rig, over. We paid for the cot, the power lift, and the oxygen tank lift. Nope. Power lift, power load, and 30-some thousand for the ambulance, and that was from ARPA money. That was 80,000 that we got in the ARPA money last year, so.
So does this cover then completely what the new ambulance will be, this 187, or will there be more charges?
The lettering is paid for, pay highway something remount the brush guard and, Rossbach to put the radio in it. Other than that,
Other than that.
we have all the equipment, so we'll take the equipment out of the one we have and put it in there.
And you guys do that yourselves?
Yep. We usually make a day out of it and get the one emptied out before he gets here with the new one, and then he can take off with the old one and we load up the new one, so
What happens to the old one?
it's traded in.
Oh,
I think he said this one's already sold as a camper, so. And he gets about what we get, about $4,000 for him, then he don't have the monkey with him. So, somebody in Minnesota takes them and makes a two-person little camper out of them, so.
Is the increase in the LifeQuest services, is that because they're catching up or?
You mean the bigger builder, that's 7,700?
Right.
I believe that covered a bunch of the catching up they had to do from last year when the things
Switch.
didn't no, they didn't transfer when the state switched their program.
Right.
We had those 100-some calls that just sat there for a long time, well, they finally got those all billed, and some of that might be collections too, old money, cause they get a bigger share of that.
Any other questions on the bills? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the payment of, bills for the ambulance or emergency services.
second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the bills, for that. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried. Budget review,
I'm not too worried about anything, the ambulance grant shows a minus 19,358, and that's about what we're getting in that grant money, so that'll flatten that back out from last year. Other than that, we're kinda on schedule. I'm not sure, it says that year to date is to 6/10, so just about 6 months, and we haven't used half of our budget. We did emergency government, but that pays a lot of my health insurance, so that's always runs close right away. So I don't see
yeah,
if
but
there's any
this would have been through the end of May,
Yeah,
or 5 months.
5 months is still not even close to 50%, so I think we're fine. We're still fixing ambulances too, so. It's an ongoing thing.
Any questions on that? Okay, discussion possible motion review CIP.
So even though I budget for the ambulance every year, they wanted me to do the, capital improvement plan. I put money in for 2025 to replace our 2014 ambulance. After that one's replaced, it'll be a couple years where hopefully we won't need one, so I split that money out to look at a facility for a second full-time crew. Either to buy one, build one, whatever. So that's how I split that out, and then it's back to half enough for an ambulance for, the next couple of years, to the end of the time.
You're talking about looking for a place here in town?
No,
Where?
probably Tony area,
Oh,
because we got one, if we stay at the fire hall, we've got one on the west side of the railroad tracks, but we don't have anything close on the east side of the railroad tracks. If you remember way back when, I'm still not convinced this is the end result for our ambulance service, but when we did the consultant, they said we should go to 2 ambulances here. I don't believe that's right, I think we need 2 full-time and a part-time. 2 full-time on this end and a part-time in Sheldon like it is now. Eventually, with Joe being gone, our call volume in Hawkins should just about be non-existent, because last year there was 32 calls in the Hawkins area and 18 of them were at the Sheldon. So if that's not there, there's not many calls there. Now, again, they have just as many emergency calls, I mean, when it's you or a loved one, is their emergency, it's important to get them there fast, so beefing up the first responders will help. They'll also help keep that ambulance in service, so for now, we're okay, but somewhere down the road, we're gonna run out of people. So, just like everybody else is. Your TAC was down again the other day and they called for assistance. can't even steal from each other anymore, because everybody's gonna flip flop around, unless you offer them a bunch of money, they're not gonna move, so. So that's why that's in there, just looking down the road.
I'm just curious, on, for 2029, projects and equipment, you have under A, you have 1/2 ambulance and equipment, 160.
Yep.
So, like in 28 and 27 and, 28 and 27, you have like, what would appear to be like for, full ambulance at the same.
27, 28 put together is enough for a full ambulance. And then 29 would be the first half of the next ambulance, 30 would be the next ambulance, and 2030, and I should be retired by then, so that would be my
You
problem.
won't care.
You know,
You're making that one into a camper.
2030, I'll be 66, so, yeah. I'll be taking one to make a camper, yeah.
Okay.
But, I keep telling Ashley to just walk down toward my office every once in a while, we'll probably find you dead down there someday. Kind of, same thing they worried about with Jim Turner when he was here, you'll find him dead. So, but that's, that was the end of the thing, was that 2029? Yeah, that's as far as they wanted us to go, Tom, was out to 2029, so that's why it stopped there.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, thank you.
Is there any wave going on in the state, telling the state to, go shove this increase of hours for EMTs and EMRs? We're not gonna get EMTs if they up those hours.
Yeah.
And they're not learning anything.
Yeah.
They're not better equipped to do anything, but they wanna up them like a huge number.
They up them a lot, and it's all paperwork, they
Yeah.
all work on how to upload their documentation.
I mean, I think we gotta start doing something on this. Cause we aren't gonna get EMTs here, especially part-time ones, to go what? 200 and some hours now for the class?
They wanted to go 240.
Yeah.
It's still at 180, because they held on, but it's gonna go eventually.
Yeah, but I think we gotta oppose that. No sense in worrying about the second garage till we get that figured out.
Yeah.
That's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, the only benefit to the second garage is I can find full-time people, I can't find part-time.
Yeah.
That are gonna come here for $3.50 an hour, they're just not gonna do it if they're not
Yeah.
already here. But full-time people, if you pay them decent, if they're getting $22 an hour, they would come here for that, for a full-time job, so, that's why I'm looking at.
But all
that.
the other squads are having problems with it too.
Oh, yeah, everybody is, so, yeah, if you're gonna get somebody, you're stealing them from somebody else. We have one in the class right now, and she took her last clinicals in, and they turned one down, so she's back this week to try to get another clinical, and then she's gotta go to Madison to take her test, because the test was last week, and the day before the test, they told her one of her clinicals didn't count, so.
See, that's how incompetent this whole thing
That's
is.
getting pretty snarky about that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, this has been going downhill for the last 43, 44 years that I've been involved in it. Something's gotta be done about this, cause it ain't gonna happen. Yeah, you can get other EMTs to come here, but we still can't fill our full one anyhow, right now. So, are they gonna move here and find another house and come here and do all that? I don't think so, even at $22 an hour. They can work at McDonald's by the time you figure out the gas to get here.
Yeah, not unless they have a spouse that's coming here for something
Yeah.
else, then you can get them, but otherwise, they're not gonna move here.
Yeah.
If they're
Yeah.
close, they'll come here to work, but, yeah.
I don't know, somebody's gotta do something in this state, and as soon as we get some elected officials, I'm gonna start talking to them and figure out who the hell they are. But this is not good.
Yeah.
I mean, the state is downsizing all the other medical people, hours they need for training, CNAs, they're all getting hours cut down. Now, we're, like Tom says, it's mostly book learning. We're taught right now how to care for a patient, how to get them safely from point A to point B. That's, in a nutshell, is what we do. We don't need all this other stuff. How many miles of capillaries you got in your body or all this other stuff doesn't count. I remember when I took it, it's like I had to know the functions of the heart. If I can see the heart, I'm not needed. But yet you have to spend hours on that, and it's getting worse, so.
And how many hours was your class, Phil? 'Cause
I don't even remember.
Mine was 40 in 1995.
I think it was like 120 something, or maybe, I don't know.
Oh, couldn't have been, 'cause mine was only 40.
Oh,
Oh, no, my first responder class was
Yeah.
40. No, 80 was my EMT class.
I think I was
95.
short of 100.
Yeah,
I think.
that's a lot, I mean, that's a big change, it's over
Yeah.
double now,
And
I talked to Terry about this, I don't know, that was a couple weeks ago, we sat down and I said, hey, there's a spot on the EMS board that's open. And I'm thinking about running for it, but my wife's not real convinced that I need to do that right now. So I said, I think I'm gonna skip this, cause it was getting where it was due. I'm gonna skip it, but the next time it opens, I think I'm gonna run for it, because there's no voice on that board from north of Eau Claire, nobody on there.
Even part of the south.
Yeah, most of them are from Milwaukee and Madison,
Yeah.
so there's nobody down there telling them what's going on up here. They hear it, cause, you know, I send them an email a week about the stupid shit they're doing down there,
But
but
if you really wanna get those people upset, tell them how we have people coming up here from the southern part of the state who need an ambulance, and are amazed how fast we can get an ambulance to them in rural
up
Rusk
here.
County.
Mhm.
You know, so they're not even listening to their own people apparently. That's really frustrating. I mean, I'm getting to the point I might need an ambulance, probably will, no doubt, but I wanna make sure there's one coming, you know? I did my time for everybody else, now I want other people to pick it up, and we gotta make it easier for them.
Yeah, you don't want it coming from Bedford.
No. Yeah.
Cause to the east, that's the closest.
Cornell.
Yeah, Cornell if they're around, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So anyhow, somebody's gotta start doing something on this, 'cause
Yeah, and I sit in on the town hall meetings every month for the EMS office, and they don't wanna talk about any of that stuff, it's never on the agenda.
Yeah, I know.
About education, they skip, it's right around it, they don't wanna talk about it, so.
I finally realized I know somebody on the EMS association, so I'm gonna get hold of him.
Yeah. So that's, alright, so that's the SIP. Is that what it's called, SIP?
Okay, do we need to approve this or anything, or this is just the plan that may change?
So I'm bringing it to property on Friday, so if it's just consensus of the committee that you approve what he's proposing budgetarily, then I think that's good.
We have consensus
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a motion.
or motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve it.
Okay, for the 2025 to 2029 SIP request.
I'm in the second, and so it will.
Okay,
Bill's
motion's
got it.
made and seconded to approve the ambulance, stuff for 2025 to 2029. As presented, a preliminary thing, of course. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no, motion carried.
I got one more comment.
Go
Are the MOEs out now, or ready to go out, or?
They were out in the middle of May.
Okay.
Nope, yeah, in the middle of May, we put them out on, they got sent to the same address as the, voting information goes to, so if that's the clerk or the town chairman or whoever, that's where it went. Yeah, and I gotta,
You had them out, you had yours out
they were
right
out
away.
early, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a month.
As soon as I came back, that's why I came back, actually, I said, I can't do these from home, because the program on my computer at home wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah.
So I came here, and the first week I got them all taken care of.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
Except for Taylor and, Chippa, cause I forgot them, so the next week I did them and sent them directly to them, so they're covered too.
There's been questions on that, and I know having a little pushback from our local fire department, you know.
Yeah. One more thing, back in, well, it started in 21, but in January of 22, the first resolution of the year, 22-01, I think is the number on it, was to hire the second group of full-time EMTs. And when we did that, I pushed to get 5 to cover the Saturday shifts. Well, at that time, I had plenty of part-timers that were willing to jump in there and cover those Saturdays, so I hired 4 full-time people. It's already approved that I hired the 5th one, and I'm gonna start that process, because we've got 6, 7 of them there that have been there several years now, their PTO is starting to build, and when they wanna take, I told them last night, I can't allow anybody to take PTO until we get somebody back to work. I got 2 out with, non-work injuries and 1 out with a work injury, so I'm short 3 full-time people. That's a lot of shifts to fill. So people are stepping up and doing it, but I'm running out of people, and I don't wanna work them too much overtime, and the only way to fix that is to hire that full-time person to take that Saturday. And that frees up the gal that's now a nurse, if she wants to fill in some of the other shifts during the week when she's not at the hospital working, that would be available for her. So that's kinda my plan, see who applies. I'm not even sure both of them that are off right now with non-work related injuries will come back. The one's got a pretty serious ankle injury, that requires surgery and some internal bracing, kinda like that bracket they put in my leg to help support her ankle. And the other one had a nerve repaired that they don't want her even moving her hand for another month, so she's gonna be out, both of them are gonna be out till August. So, you know, we're short right now, really short, which is causing a lot of overtime, which, you know, you look into their eyes and they're tired, you know, and I'm trying to make sure they're not tired and grumpy, you know, cause I know they can, anybody can get that way when they're trying, you know, to cover these shifts, so. Anyway, I just wanted to let the committee know that I let that sit until now, and really, it would be outstanding if I could find somebody that would fill PTO and take them Saturday shifts, so I didn't have to gum up the whole schedule, but we'll see who applies and what they feel. I know one gal that worked at Joe, one's gonna apply, and maybe one gal in town here, so that would be good, you know, if we get some, so I gotta talk to Ashley Goodis today and make sure that is opened up, cause she had taken it down from the website for a while, but full-time, left the part-time position, but the full-time went down. Cause she had to update some stuff in there, and I'll check and make sure she gets that done, so just for knowledge.
Do either of those applicants have previous training?
They're both trained.
They are?
Yeah, they're both working now. Yeah. One's working a lot, the other one hasn't had a partner for a while, cause she went out on, I got one that had surgery in Hawkins too, but that was non-work related. So, and she's about to retire, so I really didn't count hers out, but she's out. But the three that I hired over there are willing to jump on the truck with this one, get that truck in service more, cause really those two only worked on that truck when they were working at Joe, cause they were in town, cause one's from Kennon, you know, so the other one is a block away, but she didn't have a partner most days. So, off days when they weren't working, cause Kennon's quite a trip from there to Hawkins, so. But, yeah. And we keep having people call and asking about training, and I'm starting a first responder course tonight out at the technical college. I wasn't gonna teach anymore, but they couldn't find anybody else to teach it, and I wanted to get it going, so I said, all right, I'll teach the damn thing again. So I got 8, hopefully that'll start tonight. So, and they're from, I think there's 2 from, well, one Weyerhaeuser, one Bruce, one Lady Smith, a couple from down at Sheldon, and a couple more from Hawkins, so pretty diverse group where they're at, which is good, because, you know, like Jim Rosbach can tell you, that group down in the southwest part of the county down there is getting old, you know, they're all getting close to 70 years old, so that's why he had kinda retired out and said, oh, good. Now he sits there and listens to the radio and it's driving him crazy, so he's back at it again.
Is Sandy coming back?
Yep, she was with him, they first call they had was a coach the other night down there, so Jim said, ooh, yep, you get baptized by fire right away, you know, so, yeah.
I've been talking to our director of personnel too. It says, I want you to go in and look at the county website for jobs. 22, 20, whatever, 17, 14, 20. I says, now how in the hell do you think you're gonna fill this? Oh, of course, he's got his hands full of other stuff right now, so hopefully between personnel and us, we're gonna come up with something before this next budget.
Yeah, we got.
I mean, $17.42. But 17
Yeah,
something.
it's 17 something, yeah.
But everything else was 19, 20 plus, you know. Something's gotta get done. I've been fighting this for years, and EMTs are not considered county employees, even though they're working full-time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're not treated the same, as far as the step program, they're not on that.
Yeah.
That's fine, but then we need to keep them up, you know, and we have to do it by resolution, and I'll be coming with a resolution for that shortly. to get
You
them
get a
up.
pay raise at McDonald's, you don't get one as an EMT, it's ridiculous.
And there's no longevity pay or nothing on the
No.
EMT side, so, you know, we really need to, if they're gonna look at that on the county side, then we need to look at that the EMT side, they're gonna pay them more for being here 10 years than pay everybody more for being here 10 years, so.
I see personnel's dealing with that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Hopefully we'll
going
get the EMTs fit in there.
Yeah, they got their hand full right now, so I'm not going to the next personnel meeting, so I'm gonna stay out of there, so,
I keep harassing you.
Yeah. all right.
Okay, anything else?
Any questions,
Any other
concerns?
questions for Tom?
I haven't fielded any complaints lately, and that's always a good thing, you know, some billing complaints, but that's always more people's concerns on, you know, hey, Medicare didn't pay my bill, now what happens, you know? And guy came in the other day and I said, well, they billed your supplement, they didn't bill your Medicare because they didn't have your Medicare number, now we have it. So I just sent it back in and said, get this taken care of, and then it's back in the billing company's court, so. That's all on what we gather, you know, between the hospital and, we get most of our information from the hospital, so if they don't have it, we usually don't get it. So, then it takes a couple billing cycles to get, you know, you get a $1,500 bill, you go, ooh, and then they get a call and say, hey, they don't have my insurance information, well, I was expecting a call, I'll write it down, so. But other than that, we haven't had, anything else going on, so that's a good thing.
Okay,
City's coming together, that's a great thing. Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful when it's done.
And it will be.
Yeah,
Yep, hopefully everybody survives.
yeah, it's right, makes it through till it's done, yeah. All right, thanks, everybody, you got my number, so if you need something, call.
are you heading for Spooner?
Nope, I'm gonna go on online, because I'm in that class tonight, I don't wanna
Oh,
go up there and then come all the way back, so I'm just gonna do it online today.
okay, thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
Hmm?
You got the chair? I just gotta get a deck out, there you go.
Okay, let's move on to the medical examiner monthly report.
Okay, pretty quiet month, last month. We had one natural death, one accidental death. We did an autopsy. I signed 3 cremations. I had 1 hospice call. I used 6 on-call hours. Just so you know, I'm on call, like, all the time. And then I'll use somebody when I had to go, do the autopsy and take the person up to Ramsey County and then back. So Doug took a call for me for 6 hours. And then I had a call on, one potential donation, which was at 2:30 in the morning. They called and said, this person might die. I'm like, they might? Okay. Call me when they're dead. You know, cause I don't deal with anything, but yeah, so that's kind of, that was kind of goofy. Yeah, the dispatcher said, I don't know why they wanna tell you that they might, but, I don't have any, go ahead. No,
Did they expect?
no, that they didn't even, yeah. And I have no, training requests, but, I have I did like an update sheet, I don't know if you want me to put the next page. Phil, if you want me to put anything more on there, but, I did, professional and ethical conduct training, through the Death Investigation Academy online. And, the meetings I attended were, department head meeting, emergency services committee meeting, and the county board meeting. And right now, I'm kind of trying to look at policies and procedures. We don't really have any. And one that I'm kind of concerned about is retention of, biological, evidence, or biological tissue that was if it's taken at an autopsy, then it gets, sometimes it gets sent back to me. And so, right now I'm retaining something. I need to have a policy, I think, on it, on how long I will retain it, and then how I'll dispose of it. So,
Is that
I mean, you're not trained to deal with that or analyze it or anything.
no, not to analyze it, but they just give it back to you. So I'm just.
So they're done with it?
Yep, they're done, and so now they give it back to me, and
Is this in a criminal or just a
No.
natural death or what else?
That's the question I
it
have.
was, okay, it was a natural death. They sent the heart out to be analyzed further. Once they got it back, then they gave it back to me. So,
Do they have guidelines? How long they-
yes, and so I've gotten guidelines from, a woman down in, I don't know if she's Milwaukee or Madison. So I got guidelines from her on how long to retain things. So I'm kinda going over that, and then, once I go over that, I'll bring it to, our county attorney, have him kind of look at it, then bring it to you guys. Because,
What-
you know, I just don't want it to be in my fridge forever.
What are the surrounding counties doing?
I haven't checked, the only person I checked with was, geez, I wish I could remember her name. She is the president of the Wisconsin Coronary Medical Examiners Association and a pathologist down in, Milwaukee, Madison.
In my opinion, do much better to deal with the real world around us than.
Yeah, right. And this is the first time, you know, over 12 years that this has ever happened.
Yeah.
Where I've had something like that, so,
And maybe like you say, once you investigate and everything, maybe it's just that you don't accept it from them, you know, they have it, they take care of it, you know.
Right.
Whatever, you know, and so you don't want
Right.
it,
right,
you know, but that, you'd have to investigate what
right,
you're looking at first.
okay.
Yeah, to see if there's a policy in that,
If
but
there's a way
Why don't
that I
we
can
just
just say I
refuse it?
It's
don't
gotta
want
be
it.
happening in other counties.
what are we going to
Yeah.
do with it, or, you know,
Okay.
why do we need it, you know?
Right.
But that has to be checked out, but
Okay,
check it out,
Yeah.
like you were saying.
so I'm kind of looking at stuff that's going on, we don't really have like a policy manual, procedure manual, or like, just a manual, you know, that says, you know, when you do this, this happens, or, you know, if you have a certain kind of call, do certain kind of things, or, we just don't have anything, so, anything to look.
Covered in the job description.
Right, yeah, we just don't have, and so I've been kinda like going online, other, counties that I can pull up, you know, which aren't always even in the state, but, you know, different things that they do and the way they do things and stuff, so. Once I get a little bit here and there, I'll bring it to you guys and kinda have you look at it, and then once it's all done, you can approve the whole thing, but.
Is there any other news about famous skull?
Skull? No, and I'm sure it's on the back burner because it's probably on the bottom of the totem pole for being able to find out where it goes, but, yep, no, so it's just sitting with me in there. And I also have, and this has been years, cause Mola had them, Spinarly Davis is in my office. And, so when I became the coroner, I had a gentleman, Dick Maynard, he was a shop teacher in Weyerhaeuser. He made a box for me, and then I have him in there with all his paperwork, so, like copies of his paperwork, so if anybody ever opens it and wants to know who that person is.
Do you want to, well, I guess Kurt's the only new one, well, Susan isn't here, you wanna tell him about the skull? So I don't think he knows anything about that.
There was a
Quickly.
skull, yeah, there was a skull that was found in 95, I think, somewhere in there. It got sent to you, who did it get sent? I think you guys took it and sent it down to the state. The state wanted to get rid of it, so they sent it to us, cause it came from us to begin with. We don't know where, we didn't know anything about it, you know, where, it came from a gentleman's house, when they went to do an investigation, and, so we sent it down to be analyzed. They said it was, probably a white female, between like 16 and 26 or some, I don't know, it's just a young female. And, so then we sent it out for DNA testing, and they were gonna try to do like that back, testing for, find out where her family. But during all this, they thought that maybe she might have been a specimen, because they seemed like some cut marks. So, we're not really sure, but, the one skull, we did figure out that we knew that it was a specimen, so then I could donate that. cause we knew for sure it was, so I donated that to the UW of Oshkosh. Cause that's a gentleman down there who analyzed both the stumps, so. But, yeah, so now we're just, it's kind of like in the hands of DCI, I guess, they're kind of just waiting.
So it just sits up on your shelf?
Yeah. And,
There's that.
yeah.
Gathering dust.
Yep. It's in a nice case. I don't know, where the case came from, but it's in a nice case. Yeah. So hopefully we can find a place for her. It'd be kind of fun to find out her story. But we don't even know how old she is. I mean, like, how long ago she had died. But,
Okay, anything else going on to the village? Any questions on that? Okay,
Is that for blood draws? Needles and syringes?
yes, yes.
motion's been made and seconded to approve the bills for the medical examiner. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carried. Budget review.
I'm not worried yet. Yet. Does anyone have any kind of questions for anything I do or what's been going on?
It seems like you're well within your budget, 80% left.
Yeah, it's, I think it was a slow month in March, we only had 2, and then last month, May, we only had 2. Which is super slow, so I'm knocking on wood and hoping I don't get slammed on this one. So,
Okay, anything else for?
you guys can call me on my cell phone or email me anytime you want, any questions.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to the sheriff's department.
I'll be back, yeah, you too.
Morning,
Back
everyone.
tomorrow, so.
Hi,
Mike.
In the month of May, we had an average population of 19, one on electronic monitor. Our average daily inmate calls out of the county is 4. The reason that it's so low is because we started late in the month. On May 24th, we shipped 11 inmates to Chippewa County, to meet the compliance of the classification standards.
Are they still there?
We're still moving back and forth, transports several times a week. And just, one of the things that, concerned me so much about transport, moving inmates, is the safety and security. One of the transports, I was involved in a car crash. A vehicle pulled out in front of it down 27. Neither of our inmates or the driver was injured seriously. Most bruises, they were transported on to Chippewa County, so, but
How much is a lot of damage to the report?
total vehicle. Yeah. So,
It's good in the dirt.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's just one of the things you're taking on when you start moving people around, it's, you don't take that risk.
Is there any way that you can log this additional time that's required? Expense?
Well, we'll get invoices for everything, so.
Yeah.
It's already a lot of money.
Part of the argument.
Mhm.
So, that's that, training, is on there. Upcoming training requests, the jail school was previously approved. We would just like to add the meals and mileage to that.
It's for Zach Costa, I forgot to put that statement.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded to approve the jail school for Zach Costa. meals and
Meals and mileage.
mileage.
When this was originally, brought forward, he was in school, so he was getting his meals already, but now school's out, so.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded to approve the training jail school. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carried.
Okay, law enforcement memorial was on the 14th, fairly well attended, it was very nice, we appreciate that. You can see the meetings they attended and calls for service.
Anything to call to our attention for that, call for service?
No, nothing really jumped out this
Nothing.
month, you can see sexual assaults are, quite high, that seems to be a 2 through 10 week thing anymore. Cities about the same with that, it's just a high. Overtime through the roof.
Yeah,
We have, four starting in jail. Two? Oh, we have two now and then,
One just got done with FTO, one has probably 2 weeks left of FTO for the jail.
one started.
One starts next week, and one starts in July. He's on vacation usually, but, and then we'll still be 2 short.
And then, patrol, we've hired enough to fill patrol, but we'll still leave our investigation position open, so. We're hoping by late October to be full staff on the road with the one position open, so that is our goal with who we have now.
What about the investigator slot?
Well, we wanna get full staff to get the overtime down.
Yeah.
And then we'll, fill that and hire, we're hired from that, so. So that's where we're at.
You hire from within for that investigation?
We'll offer it, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see, we'll offer letters of interest.
So then we have to replace them.
And then we'll have to hire.
Another patrolman.
I guess the budget review. Or
Payment of
bills,
the
we should probably pay the bills.
okay, take a look at.
I'm not happy Tom spent more money than I did.
I've just got a question, what is that, is that Barron County, Rusk County fundraiser?
Yes.
Okay, and that
And
is.
the reason that's there is that was transferred out of here into a 501c account. So, and that's, governed by people from Barron and Rusk County. So it's no longer, under the county, so. But that's in there because that was transferred out.
Okay, so these are existing funds, basically, that.
Yeah, that's all fundraised money that was just transferred into a 501c account.
And then we just transfer it to them, or?
It goes to that account and then they have a board that, monitors their money.
So basically now that money earned or fundraised with like Pork in the Park or any donations is now to the nonprofit, the 501c3, rather than to the county. So now a board controls that money rather than Rusk County.
So of the 200,000, that was 160,000.
We only have big ones, meals.
Yep, meals.
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Okay, any questions on that? Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those, any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving the sheriff's department bills, say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carried.
So then by putting that money in there, you'll be able to put it in 60, 90-day CDs and make some money off it.
budget review.
As far as the budget, pretty much on track. 5 months into it, and, haven't spent quite half of it, so. The overtime at the end of the year is gonna bite us, so.
Yeah,
Maybe not quite as bad when you get to.
Yep, if we can get some people moving here, so.
Thank you. June 25th.
So, Zach Costa, who's in jail school, is done at the end of June, late June. And we will use him and fill one of the open shifts, well, we'll cut out quite a bit of overtime too, so. That will help. He's a reserve for us, and he only has to work, 24 hours a month.
I didn't realize he was back here. Last time I heard he was in Japan or something.
No, he going to school in
Down by,
Whitewater?
Platteville.
Platteville. And while he's in school, he works for one of the counties down there. Grant County, something like that. Iowa County, something like that. He works there as a reserve for them, and then when he's off on vacation, spring break, Christmas, Thanksgiving, he comes up here and picks up shifts, and then during the summer, he comes up here and works with us all summer. So, it's a good deal, when he's finished with school, then his intentions is to come back to us now.
okay, radio project updates.
Okay, CIP request form, 2025 is, 26, 27, 28, 29 is all our squads for each year. 25 is the jail upgrade and the tower project. 26, we put in to replace our canine, because we have lost 2 of the 3 because
Yeah.
of leaving the department. Still got the jail upgrade, that would be our yearly, upgrade there. And then, the next 3 is just replacement squads this time.
So when a canine is trained with an individual, then that's basically, you can't retrain with another.
You could, but both of them that left are very close to the end of their career, so there was no point in wasting the money. It's 12 weeks to train somebody, so for them to get a year or 2 out of the dog, it's not worth it, so.
So we just have one.
Yep, Bryce and
Leo.
Leo.
Putting in a little over.
Yeah. Occasionally. Any questions on that?
So do you want a motion to accept this, or is this again more for Tom? Or just?
Yeah, I don't, it don't matter, I guess, it is what it is. Yeah, I think.
See if someone wanna make a motion to approve the CIP
Okay.
request?
One again.
Yeah.
Motion's been made.
I'll second it.
Okay, he did make a motion.
You did?
Okay, motion's made and seconded to accept the sheriff's 2025 to 2029 CIP request, well, tentative again. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried. Okay, radio project.
The radio project is, Friday, we have a joint meeting, with property, both, companies will come and make the final presentation, to the two committees, and then, hopefully we can make a decision from there.
Remember, we have meetings on,
I'm leaving my nephew right on Friday at 6 o'clock.
okay, because the property meeting
I think
is
it's
at
8
8
o'clock.
o'clock.
Yeah.
And,
Are we supposed to be there at 8, or it's been posted at 8:30 too?
It's 8.
It's 8 o'clock.
Okay.
you're right,
So we need to be there 8 first.
Yeah,
Well-
starts at 8.
yeah, EMS should be there, and then when the presentation with the radio thing's done, then dismiss, I gotta stay, cause I'm also on property.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a joint meeting to begin with.
I definitely be there, but
Okay, so nothing new there, that'll be on Friday. Okay, VSS grant application,
Done with that one?
That's a victim services grant. It's Nancy Hahn, if any of you are familiar with who she is. Her position with the sheriff's office is part-time, so she's part-time with us, part-time upstairs with the DA. She's been working on it through a grant since 1999, and this year it was competitive. So she's applied for it, it was due May 31st. So just updating you guys that if this grant is not awarded, we might need to talk about how to fund that position for the sheriff's office.
and how much is that?
That
30.
is like 35,000, I think, each time.
But I know what she does upstairs, but what does she do?
She's a victim witness for the department here also.
Oh, okay. So Quake basically same thing.
Yeah.
So what she does more in the sheriff's office is looks at, maybe not like the major crimes like she does upstairs, like a homicide or sexual assault, but how she explained it to me is even if I was in a car accident and I didn't get hurt at all, I'm still a victim. So if anything that's not moving forward with the court, she can still reach out to that victim and offer services if needed. So she goes through like our call log basically and looks to see if there's anyone who should be reached out to. And she works closely with our guys to make sure that everyone is reached out to accordingly.
And she works half the day upstairs and comes down, works half the day with us. So that's what that is.
Okay, so no action on that, okay, and the Tech 84 contract renewal, which is in here.
That, Tech 84, that's our body scan up in the jail. We got our yearly service agreement, it went up $2,000.
I'm sorry, Miranda, I just had a quick question on the VSS. Have we ever not been approved for that?
Never in my
No.
time.
Since 99, she's worked on that
Yeah.
grant, it's never cost the county anything.
Yeah, but now you said it's competitive.
It's
So we
competitive.
may-
So
and before it
she may
wasn't.
only get part of it.
It hasn't been as long as I've been in the sheriff's office, which is only just a couple of years,
I don't
obviously,
remember,
but
I mean, in my tenure, she's never told me that it was an issue, but this year she's concerned,
Competitive, so
so.
we may not get.
Or maybe only a part of it?
Could be.
or yeah, it could be even just a lesser amount than what we're used to. It's just kind of up in the air right now until we know for
Do we
sure.
have any idea when they will announce that, or you said it had to be
Off
by
the top of
5/31?
Yeah, off the top of my head, I'm not sure when the announcement is supposed to come out,
I think we'll know before budget, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just
You
a,
know how the government works.
on the Tech 84, that's just the annual.
That's just the annual service agreement, and it just went up, let you know, went up $2,000.
Who covers the one up in the hall and this floor then?
That's our, we don't, there's
No, none of this.
no contract with that.
It's more basic unit than.
It's just, yeah, it's just a beep or not beep, you know.
Any questions?
Is that your motion?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it had to be.
Yeah, approved? I'll make a motion.
Okay, motions been made and seconded to approve the Tech 84, contract. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, any further, or do you wanna just say anything about, cause people will probably be asking about your yacht? What's going on over there?
Mr. Morgan is tearing down the buildings and clearing the property. During their course of trying to empty the house, they found some ordinances, ammunition, military stuff.
Not a surprise, we live there.
No, we've had multiple throughout the county. Bomb squad was here, they took one, they weren't sure if it was still dangerous or not, but, there was others that they left, said that they're fine, which we'll probably give to the museum. So, they're just cleaning that up, it's, when it was all the cop cars and paper towels.
Yeah, so yeah, whatever came through on this scanner, on the radio, I'm not sure, but my phone started blowing up because it said something about this construction zone or something. And I'm like, well, I haven't heard nothing, so I walk out the door to City Hall and I can see the excavators are still swinging and, guys are still working. I'm like, well, they didn't find nothing in the street, cause they'd be shut down, or whatever.
They've been running the other way.
Yeah, so I'm like, I have no clue, so I had to call Kelly and say, what's going on, cause my phone's just ringing, and, yeah.
End of a institution out there,
Yeah.
so it's a unique place.
Okay, if nothing else, the next meeting will be July 10th at 8 o'clock.
Is it possible just to back up, like, just a
Sure.
minute? Can you just explain a little bit more, Sheriff, on the 11 inmates that were shipped, just, I mean, what, it says for classification standards, but, I mean, I sat in all the meetings, and I know that I know that we have to meet it someday, but I mean, I didn't ever hear where we have to start shipping out inmates today. So.
Couple of county boards have really pushed the issue of, we signed this letter, and why are we not complying with this letter? And, so that's what we're doing, we're complying with this letter, to the state in our agreement with them to try and meet what we can, so.
So that letter was signed before I got.
Yeah, that was back at the last inspection. Because we've had so many, they said, you gotta give us a reason on how you're gonna fix this classification. And, at that time, we come up with, the way to fix it at that point is to ship out. And we wrote the letter and agreed to do that, and I think kinda holding, but it's really, the issue's really been why we're not doing it, so.
What's his name to give us a end date?
Uh,
DOJ guy.
He ain't gonna write the letter.
DNR's done it, for various reasons.
So. Yeah, because that, like you said, that's gonna increase all kinds of costs.
Yep.
Okay, so you've got 11 down there, well, according to this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 11.
Do you, I mean, is this like a
So-
weekly thing you're shifting people? I mean, that's.
It can be daily, it can be daily.
And we got the May invoice from Chippewa for just however many days, the 24th to the 31st, for 10 inmates, right? So 10 inmates for like that 8 days or however many days is over $3,000. So now imagine what it will be when you have 12 inmates
month.
for an entire month. It's,
So, and that's, is
that
that
alone
the,
is a lot.
or the, like 55 a day?
57.
57.
Yeah, Barron is 55, but they were 4. They got, most of Douglas County inmates, cause they don't have any staff up there to run the jail.
Well, and that, what you just said was just room and board. I mean, that doesn't count
That
the
counts.
time you
Right,
guys
that's not even the
going down and
transport.
back. And
Well,
Yeah.
we didn't use our people to transport because
Oh.
we don't have the staff to do the transport, so we
You
used,
use another
Right,
Ready Transport.
But that's not.
at least
But it was
$1,000
their
a
vehicle,
time.
not ours.
Per trip?
Oh, it's their vehicle that got damaged. Well, some silver lining, maybe.
Yeah.
So this is money that's blowing in the wind at this point.
Okay, like I say, the next meeting will be July 10th, second Wednesday at 8 o'clock.